pleasure to see this place all filled up. I wish we had this many people every time we had a meeting. As you've heard me say many times, we work for y'all. That's what we're here for, and it's just a pleasure to see this many people here. I know we're going to do some good things tonight. And Chief, I guess the special recognitions and awards, I'll ask you to come up, and I'll join you at the front to shake a hand when you get through it. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, I'd like to recognize Sheriff Scarborough here tonight, Craig Grace. Thank you all for coming. Thank everyone for coming. There's a tradition in the fire service, particularly here in Tift County, that when a life is saved, when a fireman actually has hands-on physical contact in removing a potential victim of a fire, we give life safety awards. Such an event occurred on the 29th of August this year. Most of us have heard about it. It happened out in the Brookfield Fire District at 29 Halley Henderson Road. And on that day at 5:37 that evening, dispatch received a call from Miss Ellerby, Miss Cheryl Ellerby, who, by the way, if you'll join me in welcoming her to the council chambers. Miss Ellerby, thank you for coming. Miss Ellerby, obviously, was a life that was saved, and she actually played a role in saving her own life, by the way, and I'll get to that in a moment. Suffice it to say that there were a lot of people. This is teamwork, it always is, and we will do the Lifesaver Awards, but I think it's warranted that other people be recognized tonight, Mr. Mayor, if that's all right with you. These are folks that had immediate and direct impact on our successful rescue and removal of Miss Ellerby from the house. No doubt, had they not played their role, we would not have gotten there in time. And I want to start with the first two, Miss Marquita Powell and Miss Kaja Mobley. If you will, please come up. They are with the 911 Dispatch Communications Center. If you will step around here, please. When the call came in, and I've listened to the tapes, Miss Ellerby was in fear of her life. The situation was drastic. She had the wherewithal to stay on the phone with the coaxing of Miss Mobley, I believe. Yes. I listened to the tapes. Miss Mobley calmed her. She garnered information from her, which she then transferred to Miss Powell, and Miss Powell dispatched that information to us. Without the contact on the phone, without their professional demeanor and calmness, we couldn't have gotten there in time. What they did, they were able to pinpoint precisely where she was in that house. Precisely. And in a few minutes you'll understand why that was so important. From the Tift County Fire Department to these other folks that we're going to recognize tonight, we just want to tell them how much we appreciate what they do. It's a team effort, always is, but in this case it saves somebody's life, and we want to tell them how much we thank you for it. We would like to give you all commendation coins from the Tift County Fire Department for your service. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
So much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. If you will you mind standing up there? Sure. Okay. Next, I'd like to call up Deputy Sheriff Chris Spires and Brookfield firefighter Don Sumner. Don's anniversary is today, 48th anniversary. He told me he would come if I could assure him we could get him out of here quickly because he has to carry his wife out to eat. No doubt Don has his priorities in order. A lot of stuff happened that evening, simultaneously, beginning with the 911 dispatchers. The arrival of the first unit was engine 64 from Brookfield, and Don was driving that unit. Don did precisely what he was supposed to do. He pulled a hose line, he charged that hose line, filled it with water, prepared it for attack on the fire, and then he did something else. Because of the communications through 911 dispatch, Chris Spires had located the bathroom window of the bathroom in which Miss Ellerby was located. She had sought refuge in there. Don took a ladder around and assisted Chris in climbing that ladder and cracking that window open. Now that's important because had he not done that, in all the likelihood she would have died. There was no air left. She had to have air. She had to have ventilation. The smoke was terrible. I listened to the tapes, as I said, and she was gasping for life. She was gasping. Through the efforts of Don and Chris, they bought us valuable time to get to that bathroom and get her out. So we want to tell them thank you as well. Thank you as well. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Thank you, Don. Thank you, sir. If you will, we all just stand right. And last and certainly not least, Eddie Brown and Riley Rutherford with EMS. You guys come up. And I've talked to all these people, most of them before tonight, one of the guys. Obviously, EMS guys were there. They took Miss Ellerby, they cared for her, they got her to the hospital, and that's no short trip from Hallie Henderson Road. A long way. They convinced her she needed care, her CO2 levels were high, she had ingested all kind of particulates. She was in dire straits. They did their job. They've even said so. We were just doing our job. Yeah, but this time it saved a life, no doubt. And we wanted to recognize him as well. Thank you. Mr. Mayor. Thank you all for coming, and thank you for your service. It's a team effort. It's a big team, and it's a good team at Tick County. Thank you very much. You can all make yourself comfortable now if you want to. We're going to bring the firefighters. Thank you again very much. Thank you. Now I'd like to call up the firefighters. Again, the Lifesaver Award is something we give within the fire department to those who physically remove a victim, save their life. I call them all up at once. Firefighter Dustin Sanders. Dustin. Firefighter Jacob Gill. Stand over there, buddy. Firefighter Lindsay Tucker. And Lieutenant George Cirillo. Second arriving unit that evening was Engine 11 with Firefighter Sanders and Firefighter Gill. Within seconds after that, we had two more men going, Lieutenant Cirillo and Lindsay Tucker in our Truck 9 apparatus. As I told you earlier, Don Sumner had the hose line charged and ready to go. By the time our guys arrived, we had pinpointed her location inside the house. It's hard to describe it, but within about a 12-foot distance, linear feet, there was a front door, a door into a bedroom, a door into a hallway, a door into the bathroom. Ladies and gentlemen, you could not have hardly moved a chair through that space. Now imagine doing that in the dark. Firefighters Gill and Firefighter Sanders entered the structure. They made their way to the bathroom. It was difficult, to say the least, but they were able to get Miss Ellerby out of the bathroom, got her to the living room area, where then Lieutenant George Cirillo and Firefighter Lindsay Tucker completed the trip out the front door. Once she was out, Firefighter Sanders and Firefighter Gill then went about suppressing the fire successfully, by the way, saving her home. So tonight, we'd like to give them Lifesaver Awards. Captain Cooper, this is B shift, by the way. Captain Cooper is the B shift, and traditionally we want the captains to actually pin the medals on firefighters. Dustin is, I will say this, we recruit heavily from our volunteer ranks, both city and county. Dustin was formerly a volunteer firefighter with the city beginning around 2007, 2008. He became a career firefighter in 2013. And needless to say, he's one of our finest. And for those of you who may or may not know, he has a younger brother, Darren Sanders, who is now on our volunteer staff, and his mother is Miss Julie Smith.
Would you mind if I can stood back?
Oh.
Lieutenant Cirillo was a city volunteer as well. Around 96 to 97 and 98, he came on full-time as a career firefighter. He made the rank of lieutenant in 2008. And I don't know if George still does or not, but I think he serves on our retirement board, or if he doesn't, he did at one time. Firefighter Jacob Gill was a volunteer as well. He was a Brookfield volunteer. We were happy to have Jacob come on board full-time in 2012. He's done an outstanding job, as they all do every day. We have nicknames for these guys. I'll just leave it at that. Do we ever? And the little fella, firefighter Lindsey Tucker. Lindsey Mayhem Tucker. You ever seen those commercials? Insurance commercials? Lindsey came on board as a volunteer from Brookfield as well in 2005. 2007, we hired him on as a career firefighter, and he's one of our finest as well. They all are. He's one of our drivers. Need a ladder, Tim?
These steps cool.
Let's give him a hand.
Chief, thank you. This is a great
Yes, sir.
event.
Yes.
You know, y'all put your lives on the line every single time you put that gear on.
Well,
And it's good to have something like this where it turns out positive as it did. And we're just so proud of everybody involved. And,
Mr. Mayor, let me just say, if you will, this is an example of what we have in place working in Tift County.
amen.
It's unity, courage, and compassion beyond belief, and there's no better testament to that than Ms. Cheryl that'll be here tonight. We want to thank you all for coming. Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, I certainly missed a good opportunity. Jack, I'm sorry. Generally, when somebody new comes on board, I'll be sure to mention it. This being the workshop, and I really, for some reason, I didn't know we were going to do this tonight. But Jack, you're here tonight. You'll be our new District 2 council person. It's a pleasure to have you here tonight. Certainly is. Looking forward to you being on the board and serving.
Thank you.
Sorry I didn't do that in front of all the crowd. That's fine. Well, y'all, wasn't that a pleasant thing? We're going to have to take about a 2-hour break to wipe that smile off of Julie's face. It's, I know she is a proud mom, and well, she should be. And we're an extended family. And we're very proud for you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
That's a good group of guys right there.
yes, ma'am. All right, I know Chris was unable to make it, and I think he's out of town. So he was unable to get back in time. Apologize. We're going to discussion of the resolution providing for enterprise zone application for 41 in Maine, LLC, that's located at 343.
343 Main Street.
Okay, 343 Main Street. Larry, you want to do that?
Yes, sir. All of you know, we have a program or an incentive program to help develop, help businesses come to downtown to help redevelop downtown. And this enterprise zone application is just one of those incentives. They've applied for the enterprise zone incentive program. Basically, staff's recommending waiver of the building permit fees, the tipping fees, business license fee for the first year, 100%, 50% the second year, and tax abatement over 10 years. And tax abatement is a total of $18,265 over a 10-year period of time, based on the estimates that we have at this time. So staff's recommending approval of the enterprise zone application for 343 Main Street.
And we'll vote on this at our meeting.
The call meeting after this, after the workshop.
Ah, that's what they're calling me.
Yes, that project is a fast track project, and they're ready to move.
Yeah, that's gonna be a great thing downtown.
Yes.
Really, really is. So that's good. Okay, item number 3 is a discussion of the City of Tifton 2015 LMIG projects. Larry?
Yes, sir. As you know, the LMIG streets that were approved for this year were Murray Avenue, Hall Avenue, and Chestnut Avenue, sections of those. We sent out requests for proposals, and they came back in. The low bid was East Coast Asphalt for $199,968, and that is the staff recommendation. And these, we'll take action on these at the council workshop in October 5th.
Okay. Any questions, anybody? Item number 4 is a discussion of the application for providing for honorary designation / landmark status for Fullwood Garden Center.
Yes, sir, that's a private property, and you'll recall Miss Virginia Pennington came in,
That's right.
made a presentation. They have made an application for that status, and we'll be recommending, staff recommends approval of it. There is a committee established to determine, if you will, the types and styles of plaques and everything that we're going to use in that program. You already approved the process for which these applications can be approved at a previous meeting. So once the committee comes back, and we're not taking action on this tonight, this will be on October 5th meeting as well. But there is a meeting scheduled with the committee to determine what types of plaques and sizes and all designs.
Now, the landmark committee will come back to full council.
That's correct.
To decide.
That's
And when will that take place?
October 5th, you think we won't be ready?
We have a meeting scheduled sometime for next week.
Yeah.
And we should,
I wouldn't think it would take us very long to get that,
Okay.
some ideas put together that we can present back to council for approval, or,
And then council will approve it, y'all want us to do it before the next meeting, or is it okay to do it at the
We'll do it
meeting?
at the
What
next-
y'all
at
suggest?
the next, or even the next meeting is fine.
You'll
Yeah.
email it to us, Larry, and then we can approve it the next meeting?
The design?
Right? Or whatever the committee
You
agrees.
can make the report on the October 5th meeting. We'll have to order whatever it is that's going on that particular property.
Okay. But we'll have some type of paperwork that we can see, so we can
Sure.
all 5 agree to it, and
Yes.
then we'll take it from there. Sounds great.
Good to go.
Okay. Okay, discussion of surplus property bids. Larry?
Yes, sir. You may recall that there was a 2-acre tract of land that the city owned. Well, actually, it was a larger tract of land than that, but there was a party had requested that the city surplus a 2-acre tract of that land. Those 2 acres were actually landlocked, and they were actually swampland. So anyhow, y'all surplus the property. We went out for bids on it, and we received 2 bids back on the property. One was $261 for the 2
Wow.
acres. The other one was $8,551.50. So anytime the city of Tifton can sell swampland for over $4,000 an acre that's landlocked, I think we need to sell it. And staff recommendation is that we honor the $851,050 bid from Mr. Brian Atwater.
Well, you know, he's the only one that can, because he has property beside it, so.
Now, you'd have to give an easement to somebody else to provide it, I mean.
Really?
You can't be landlocked.
No, he's not, he has
But he has,
adjoining
he
property.
has road access, but if somebody else would buy it.
If someone else
But
wanted to buy it,
who's him to
they
get
have to
it?
have an easement. That's right.
That behooves him to get it because he's got property beside us, so it'll be landlocked. And nobody else bid on it, I mean, we don't do anything wrong, are we?
Hey, I'm telling you, that's a good price for swampland.
Well, I think.
Don't look this way and that way, look that way. We're not doing anything wrong, right?
No, I mean, basically, if somebody has property that's landlocked, they'll have the right to go to court to petition to gain access. They can get an easement, but they'll have to go to court and get that.
But Brian has access.
But he,
He's
Brian's
enjoying it.
Right, so that's a non-issue.
We're
But,
fine.
you know, I'm just making sure somebody will come up and say, well, y'all did that because he had a joint property. We put the bids out.
Hey,
They were sealed bids.
the advertisement was in the paper,
Yeah,
notice of surplus property sale.
yeah. Got it right here. Okay.
We're all good, boss.
When will that take place, once we vote on it? Or we're not voting on that?
October 5th, we'd ask that, council authorize the city manager to execute the deeds to the property.
Anybody else butt up to that besides Brian?
No, sir.
Okay.
Did everybody what now?
I think
That's
we're
about
set.
that property.
Brian's the only one I think that butts up to it all around, so I mean,
We carved out 2 acres of the property that were basically the south side lift station.
just thinking out loud here, would we need to do anything as far as legality, hold harmless on the swampland part, or the wetland part, to let him know?
Which
that
kind of dry right
he is
now? But it hadn't
in a
rained
flood
lately.
zone, apparently?
I don't know.
My recollection, Wes, is that as far as the floodplain maps and all that is a matter of public record and notice. I think as far as floodplains, I think that only really applies to a lessor. You have to notify a tenant if you're leasing the property in a floodplain. I think otherwise, it's basically part of the
As
record.
is, as
Right.
is condition.
Oh, the buyer knows exactly what he bought.
I'm sure he does. I'm sure Brian did his due diligence. I was just thinking outside the box, like we're supposed to.
I'm looking at this notice, it doesn't say as is, where it is, or any fancy stuff like that. Wes has got me thinking of it. Maybe we should have put at your own risk or something like that.
Well, isn't George a caveat emptor? So, I mean, it's
It's
his
right. I mean-
responsibility to do. It's not our responsibility to notify him, it's his responsibility to do his due diligence, so.
Okay.
And that's it, Mayor. Call meeting.
Okay, now we're gonna have a call meeting. I hereby start the meeting.
But right now?
Oh, you wanna take a little break before we do it?
No.
Yeah, right
No.
now.
We'll do it right now.
Okay.
It's okay with you.
All right, it's the resolution providing for enterprise zone application for 41 in May LLC. Do I have a motion?
Mayor, I make a motion, for line item 6.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by raising your right hand and saying aye. Aye. Ms. Jessica, that's unanimous. That is approved, and this meeting is adjourned. Subject to call.
There you go.
All right, folks.